kind of screamo scene, emo, screamo, whatever.
Well,
you
they
want to
lapped
call
up all that bullshit.
Yeah, but there was a bunch of those bands. At one stage, you couldn't walk through town without tripping over one of these screamo bands, you know. And these would have been one of the kind of mid-tier, top of the mid-tier kind of ones.
I will say this about that screamo music itself. That's not easy to write and play well and record. Like
it's a weird version of hardcore and prog.
Yeah.
That's the way I
won't say prog. Maybe pop punk.
Towards the end of it, loads of pop punk start coming in. At the start, you got bands that would have been lumped in here, like Job for a Cowboy and all into that bracket as well. It definitely that screamo scene like arced out in 100 different.
A lot of them were like you'd need a good guitar, at least one, and a good drummer. At least there's two members you really need to be good,
which is already difficult to find.
So
yes, Sonny Moore, also known as Skrillex, he was the singer for years. Now they got back together again. They broke up in 2010. Got back together.
That's when obviously Skrillex was doing his dubstep stuff.
He left the band in 2007 to start a solo career. Now this wasn't Skrillex. He decided he wanted to go out on his own. So
songs of my broken heart.
Like that, And I think he went
almost certain breakdown bullshit.
Almost certain that's exactly what it was. So he went under his own name for a while. And then in 2010, I think it was, he decided to have a crack at doing the dubstep, which was, let's be honest, Skrillex was the name and dubstep.
I don't like dubstep, but I will say this about that. Those songs take ages to make because there's a lot going on. There's so much going on. And when they write a cool little bit, that could be the only time you hear it in the song. It's gone again.
Exactly.
And that involves a huge amount of different sampling and drum bits for that couple of seconds. It's basically like 8 songs mashed up.
Yeah.
But they need to do that 10 songs per album.
Exactly.
So I have to give it that credit.
They have a weird format for doing that all kind of electronic drop and all this kind of shit. You have to work out. There's like points you have to hit in a dubstep song.
Yeah. It's like a little race. You have to get the checkpoints before you fucking...
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what you do in between those points is your own business.
It's your own business.
Yeah.
It's like a sexual preference. Whatever you get up to in those,
exactly.
Before you do that drop. That's,
so 2010 he went under the Skrillex moniker and he put out... it was just called My Name is Skrillex. It was an EP and I think he released it free on MySpace.
Yeah, I think he had a couple of songs on MySpace at least.
So
I'll be honest with you, the first time I heard it, I was like, this is interesting and new.
Yeah, but nobody had heard anything like that, really.
Yeah.
The closest thing we'd ever heard to that would have been some of the Prodigy stuff.
And even then, that was like kind of more long drawn out than they were. This was like...
There were songs.
This was
This was art almost.
It was like he was mixing Lego and Duplo at the same time.
Exactly.
With bits of Meccano. Does work. Does it?
You can, yeah.
Owned by the same company.
Not officially. No, not officially. You just hit it and hard enough it'll work. Like
yes, that's
Fonzie
true.
The life out of it.
Yeah.
He went off. He released an album or an EP on MySpace. It done real well, and he started DJing and doing his own stuff, and he got fucking huge. And because of that, From First to Last got a big burst.
Of course,
of popularity afterwards.
Yeah.
So in 2017, they continued on. Let me see. The timeline here is kind of fucky for them. So. He fucked off 2007, put out an album or two under his own name. 2010, Skrillex is born. 2013, the band get back together again, but without him.
Of course.
The guitarist starts singing. I think they bring in another guy to fill in him.
We can be famous too.
Yeah,
if
something
Sonny's
like that.
going to be on MTV, then we can too.
Exactly. So they do their own thing. They've pretty much been going from 2013 until now, but in 2017, he decided to rejoin the band. So the guy who was singing for a while, he jumped back to guitar, whichever way they worked it, and apparently they're working on a new album right now, which no one is probably going to give a fuck about.
They'll probably care more because dubstep came and went so quickly.
Really, like a 2-year period.
And Screamo's weirdly on its way back. And that was a little bit.
Yeah, well, you've got...
rappers doing it now and everything. Like,
well, you've got...
what is his name?
You don't...
That guy that played across the road.
Who?
That emo rapper.
Oh, Youngblood?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not really rap. I don't know what that is. That's like a weird modern form of... pop rock. I don't know how...
Yeah. Either way, Screamo's still clearly...
emo and Screamo's most certainly coming back, especially with My Chemical Romance deciding they're getting their shit back together again to do tours. That's a big thing. I'll tell you right now, I'm seriously contemplating going to London to see them. Seriously contemplating it.
Jesus, I've seen you skip gigs you love that are down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like my bands that I have their logo tattooed on me, I'm like, but I'm seriously contemplating going to that. Yeah, it's raining. That's pretty much it. I knew Skrillex before I knew From First to Last, But I knew also that he had been in some sort of heavy band. I didn't know it was these guys.
And if you think dubstep is bad, have a listen to this.
This is fucking torture. Like I said, I picked a terrible song.
Good.
Mostly because, as I said, the other songs are all very formulaic. Listen, if you like From First to Last, tell me if there's good songs to listen to, because I generally don't have a problem with this type of music. It doesn't hurt me.
Yeah, tell Gar, because I won't A, listen to you, or B, believe you. So tell Gar, because I won't.
If you do know of a good From First to Last song, post it on the Facebook page or messages or whatever the fuck it is. Let us know. Who is your next one, Helmet?
Monsieur Bungle. You know Mr. Bungle had to come up eventually. It is Mike Patton's. Mike Patton's teenage band, his mate's band, the buddy band, before Faint No More. I'd say they were going, I think, about 4 years before he joined Faint No More. Now, they grew up as people who were basically sick of the rock scene, and not the rock scene so much, but more everyone going around in like AC/DC and stuff. The music wasn't doing it for them, because they were little weird kids. So they were listening to Devo, Oingo Boingo, and Bad Manners actually were a huge influence on them as well. So a lot of punk and just anything weird or a little bit sort of surreal.
They'd squeeze in.
Yeah, so that's why Mr. Bungle has that really weird... And they mix ska into it, which normally I would absolutely hate. But the song is Girls of Porn. It's one of my favourite songs on it. Actually, the riff could be Rage Against the Machine if you listen to it. It has that Rage Against the Machine riff. But Mike Patton met Faint No More at a pizza parlour in 1986 when Chuck Mosley was like in a bad way with the drink, like real rolling around, fucking not turned up, whatever. I don't know if he never turned up. I just made it up. But I presume if you have an alco lead singer, there's going to be times where he'll go missing.
He's not there.
Yeah, so he hands them tapes of Mr. Bungle. Obviously, just stick us on tour or whatever, or just listen to them. You hand your tapes out to someone. They went, no, we want him in the band. So they asked him.
Fuck you, Chuck.
Yeah, fuck you, Chuck. Now, thankfully, he didn't say, fuck you, Mr. Bungle.
Yeah, that wasn't that part of the deal where he had to keep them.
Well, it's never said whether it's part of the deal or not. Now, what could have been is, he could have said, if I'm going to join Faint No More, by the way, he had 2 weeks to write the lyrics. I think we mentioned this before. 2 weeks to write the lyrics to the real thing before it came out. And then that went on to be incredible album. Yeah. Lyrically, it's pretty decent. Vocally, it's unreal.
Yeah.
And nominated for Grammys and all. Now, I don't know the deal with it. If he went to Warner Brothers, I have to bring my band along, or else they just went after a few weeks or months or whatever of them going, Faint No More, massive now. Oh, what else have you got?
Yeah.
They could have, here's my old band. Yeah. So the one thing that annoys me about me putting this song in is this was recorded after Faint No More got big. So, fine. But he was in Mr. Bungle.
Yeah.
This is his band. Listen, this is Mike Patton's proper fourth big band.
Yeah.
I think they're from Eureka, California. Yeah. Obviously, the real thing changed everything, but Mr. Bungle still continued to squeeze. He's a workaholic. Mike Patton is an absolute workaholic,
isn't he?
Yeah. So he's still. The lads probably got pissed off waiting around. He's touring all the time, but he still managed to get 2 more Mr. Bungle albums, Disco Volante in California.
Haven't they announced a little reunion or something recently?
They are, yeah. With Scott Ian.
Really?
Is playing in the band.
I hope there's a big fire at that gig.
Not only do you hate Mr. Bungle, you don't like Scott Ian either.
I do like Scott Ian. Scott Ian's fine. I wish he'd just shut up.
Yeah.
He did write like the best and possibly only song about Judge Dredd. So I'm all right with that.
Mad into Judge Dredd,
yeah, mad into Judge Dredd. They all were. Yeah, I fucking hate Mr. Bungle. I fucking despise it. I hated Mr. Bungle before I knew that was Mike Patton.
Did you?
Yeah. Back in the Napster days, like you just go on a rampage.
They're right. Mike Patton fans can be annoying, but Mr. Bungle fans can also be quite annoying.
But I don't know, is there actually Mr. Bungle fans?
Yeah.
Are there people who wear like Mr. Bungle t-shirts and all
yeah,
that?
Absolutely.
Records?
There's people that are more into Mr. Bungle than they are any other Mike Patton band.
That's fucking insane.
They think that like they'd be like Faint No More be a watered down version.
That's fucking stupid. Faint No More's what put manners on him, like, and it gave him a bit of a road to travel on, like here's some boundaries.
I'm surprised you don't like Mr. Bungle, although it is a bit.
I can't.
It's like a bag of Skittles.
I can't
crack.
I tell you exactly why I fuck. See that Squeeze Me Macaroni song? That Squeeze Me Macaroni song. I can't. It's just an exercise in absolute futility for music. Is what it is. And
I love this album. This album is amazing for me.
And you know what else I fucking hate? They done that Super Mario song. They done the fucking beep, 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 beep. Oh my God, I want to kill myself. Because back in the day, you had Napster or whatever, or fucking SoulSeek or whatever, and you just go rooting. You'd hope that people had filled out the ID3 tags on MP3s.
Yeah.
And you'd put in
You'd hope.
rock, metal, whatever. And you'd come across a song or like best of underground rock music or whatever. And you download it all. And I'll never forget hearing that. First of all, I heard the Super Mario song because I done loads of those theme songs. I heard the Super Mario song and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I didn't necessarily hate it, but I didn't like it either. I didn't know what was going on. But because I think it was mostly instrumental, it was just the fucking bling, blah, 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 spling, splong fucking noises, right? And then I went looking for them, and I got that like Squeeze Me Macaroni and all that type of shit. And I put on the playlist where we are right now in work, just because I know people like it. But every time it comes on, I have to skip it. It fucking pains me.
It's not one of my favorite songs off the album at all.
It's just a rainbow on fire in musical form, and I can't do it.
It's like one of those merry-go-rounds, but set to ultra speed by accident, and it's on fire.
The waltzer in a carnival,
and it's on fire.
But lads with fucking 6-string basses,
and there's clowns being raped on the carnival.
Which is, I'm going to say something real bad. I won't do it. No, I dislike. I have no problem with Mike Patton. I have no problem with Fight No More.
Yeah.
But Mr. Bungle can fucking suck a dick sideways.
A funny story about Mr. Bungle was they got kicked off a big festival. It could have been Lollapalooza or something like that, when Red Hot Chili Peppers said, "We're not playing if they're on the billing because we feel like they've stolen our sound." I don't
know what the timeline is there.
The timeline, so Mr. Bungle, well,
I'd say
the real thing came out in '89. I think Mr. Bungle came out. It was around 90.
Yeah, but they existed before that. So I'm wondering what the timeline
they existed
is
since '86
for Red Hot Chili Peppers versus Mr. Bungle.
Well, it would have been after Fight No More because it wouldn't be getting Mr. Bungle on a big festival.
Yeah, but their sound would have been of a similar ilk.
Well, either way, they got Mr. Bungle, fucking bailed off that thing. So Mr. Bungle went and did a gig where they all dressed up as members of Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I remember that. They put the socks in their dicks and everything, didn't they?
I don't know.
I think there's a photo of them with socks in their dicks
but the gig itself, Mike Patton starts singing Under the Bridge, but he sings it in a drawn-out heroin style where he makes like a lot of heroin in the arm. So they kind of got them back in that way. And like at the time, I remember going, "Oh, hey, Red Hot Chili Peppers," and I watched that video, see Mr. Bungle, and they're taking the piss. And I still think it's funny. Not as funny as I thought it was like fucking 15 years ago or 20, whatever like that, years ago. But
you were only like 12 back then.
Probably, yeah, something like that. Shit, yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's be 12, 15 years ago.
I was, yeah.
Let's not have a driver's license or anything like. Yeah.
Mr. Bungle, Disco Volante is a tough and strange album, but California is a more croonery kind of odd croonery thing. Also, the whole thing is recorded analog, which is why the vinyl sounds
super.
Fucking incredible. Yeah. The vinyl of California. If you don't like Mr. Bungle's first album, it can be a bit. It's like Devo and Oingo Boingo, just multiplied by a million and by young kids.
Yeah.
So they're trying to be
talented young kids. I'll give them that.
Jesus, musically, absolutely incredibly talented. Actually,
I'll give them that. Like,
I'm pretty sure for Squeeze Me Macaroni, Mike Patton had to tell Trace Brands how to play the offbeat of the ska reggae like that because he couldn't get it because he was probably into good music. And then all of a sudden, so Mike Patton's the reason that some ska.
Unfortunately, two-tone ska and stuff is massively popular in America. We talked about this
and California in the late 80s, so which was part of that as well.
It's about the funk rock and all.
So let's move. I know you don't want to talk about more Mr. Bungle, so who's your next one?
Talk about another kind of garbagey band related to a garbagey band anyway. It's a band called The Bruisers. And the song is called Intimidation. It's actually not a bad song. It's grand.
It's punky punk.
It's the Bruisers would have been like the oi and street punk pioneers in America.
Yeah.
So they took what was happening in England and they kind of made their own version of it. I'm belching here because I'm drinking fizzy beer. It's killing me.
Fizzy beer is the best.
Oh, it is the best. It's killing me. So Bruisers released 2 albums. They would have been not necessarily they would have been one of the first kind of skinheads, anti-fascist, not bonehead kind of bands banging around the States. 2 albums. I think one has a garbage name like Cruising for a Bruising. Oh no, it's painful. I can't remember what the other one's called. Streets on Fire or some shit. I can't remember. I don't hate them. They're grand. They're fine. Most oi music as a whole, up until like 1992, I can deal with because it's just kind of pub rock with a distortion pedal, and I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I know that
catchy
kind of like
choruses.
sometimes to be an oi rock punk song or whatever in a